The valuation technique presented in this course was initially developed to solve a persistent problem I encountered while I worked at a technology incubator. The problem was how to assign a value to a non-revenue enterprise that will hold up during due diligence. Although the concepts incorporated in the technique may be well known and familiar to you, this approach combines and applies these concepts in a novel manner. I taught courses using this technique in the University of Florida's Masters of Science in Entrepreneurship degree program from 2005 through 2014. In 2007, I presented an early version of the technique at the 30th Institute for Small Business and Entrepreneurship Conference in Glasgow, Scotland, and again in 2010 at the United States Association for Small Business and Entrepreneurship Conference in Nashville. The paper, Risk-Based New Venture Valuation Technique, Win-Win for Entrepreneur and Investor, was finally published in the Journal of Business Valuation and Economic Loss Analysis in 2013. If you are involved with the entrepreneur community, you will find this technique useful when valuing startups. But you will also discover the technique clarifies the startup process by keeping the founders focusing on the right priorities. If, however, you are not involved with startups, you will still find this approach for valuing expected cash flow under high uncertainty useful when performing return on innovation investment analysis. In addition, the lexicon this technique will introduce into your organization should encourage more open communication between the R&D, marketing, and finance departments. This is part one of a two-part course tailored for financial professionals interested in adding a new technique to their skill portfolio. At the end of part one of this course, those with significant Excel skills will be able to create the two spreadsheet models required to implement this technique. In addition, I provide a sample valuation report that can be used as a template. Part two of this course is for those who do not care to build their own financial models. They will be supplied the financial model and valuation model spreadsheets I have used in my college courses. Part 2 will also provide step-by-step tutorials on using these models. Now, here is the course outline. I will begin by taking a few minutes to introduce some fundamental valuation concepts that explain why new ventures pose a problem. After the introduction, I will expand on the concept of commercialization risks and its importance when valuing a new venture. This leads to a brief exposition addressing specific shortcomings with the venture capital method of valuing new ventures. Next, I'll review how real options principles combat uncertainty and how these same principles can improve new venture valuations. The final concept to be addressed before introducing the technique is the relationship between discount rates and commercialization risks. With all of this background covered, you will be ready to step through the risk-based valuation process. After introducing the technique, I address how it can apply to existing companies and what tools are required to implement the technique. Finally, I will close the course with a brief summary.